What's going on, guys? It's NYPrepper here, and in this video I want to show a new piece of gear that I found while I was walking around my local home improvement store that I want to just share with you guys that I think is a really good item to have in your bug out bag, especially if you live in an urban area. And you guys have heard me discuss entry tools in some of my prior videos that I did over a year ago. I've always talked about the importance of having entry tools that you can use for forcible entry to gain access to certain areas after SHTF. Okay, I've mentioned the importance of having bolt cutters. I've mentioned the importance of having hacksaw blades and a pry bar. And the other day I was at Lowe's. I was just doing something there. I was getting drill bits, and I always like to browse around and see if there's any cool tools and items that I could use for prepping. And I came across this nice little pry bar here. It was only $10. Okay, this is made by Vaughn, and it's made in the USA. All right, I found this at Lowe's Home Improvement Store, and it's a really nice little pry bar that you can put in your bug out bag. All right, I keep this in my bug out bag, and what I like about it, number one, is that it's very lightweight. All right, this thing weighs it's very light. I don't know how much it is, but it's probably half a pound, I would say, or it's not more than a pound, that's for sure. It's very lightweight, but it's very sturdy. You can see how thick the steel is here. All right, you're looking at let's see, almost a 3/8 of an inch thick steel, okay, or just over a quarter of an inch. All right, so that's pretty thick steel, or whatever they made this out of. I'm guessing it's steel, probably. It's very sturdy, it's lightweight, it's small. And I have one of these already, or I had one of these made by Estwing. But what I didn't like about that one is it didn't have this nice wide prying bar. It just had like another nail puller on the side over here. All right, and so this one caught my eye because it had this nice wide prying bar, and it also has this smaller section here, which will give me more leverage. All right, you can see this one is a little bit smaller, and it's round, and this, you can get a nice good leverage with this one. Okay, and it has that 90-degree shape. And this side, you got your flat prying bar, which you can use to just pry things. And a simple tool like this can really save your bacon after SHTF. There's so many things you can do with a little pry bar like this. All right, it's 8 inches long. All right, it's a 8-inch long pry bar, and it's about 2 inches wide. All right, so this little pry bar here, number one, I can use it to access things. If I have to gain entry to an abandoned building to take shelter for the night, or if, let's say, I'm bugging out or I'm escaping from an area and I have to take shelter for the night, I can enter into a building or a house that's abandoned with this pry bar, and use that home for shelter, or to scavenge for resources, or to create a more defensible position, or find a defensible position. There's so many things you can do with a little pry bar like this. Obviously prying things open, gaining entry, forcible entry, escape. Okay, if you're trapped in a building and there's doors that are shut because let's say there's some kind of a building collapse, or there's a terrorist attack, and the doors are bent and you can't get out because the door's jammed shut. A little pry bar like this, you can pry yourself out. It has a nice flat surface here, which you could use as a hammer. All right, and it's also a nice blunt. You can use this to pound things into the ground, or you can use it as a hammer. You could also use it as a blunt force, if you want to hit somebody with this for self-defense. It has this nice thick, area here. All right. You can also use this for self-defense, obviously, in addition to prying, to entry, escape, whatever. This is a great self-defense tool. Okay, I can hold this like this, and first of all, I can punch with this now. And just by having this in my hand, it's going to prevent my fist from rolling over on itself and breaking all my fingers. Okay, so just like a roll of quarters, basically. All right, it's going to protect my fingers from breaking. If I have to actually strike, I can use the edge of the pry bar to jab somebody in soft areas of the body, like eyes, face, different pain centers and nerve clusters. You can dig this into somebody's ribs, and that's going to create a lot of pain, and that'll get them away from you or get them off of you. Even if you just take this blunt surface here and you start digging that into somebody's ribs or on their shin bone or on their collarbone, that's going to hurt a lot. And, if they're trying to attack you or they're grappling with you, it may get them to release. It's absolutely a very effective self-defense tool. You can also use this for climbing. All right, you can tie a piece of cordage around this, and you can throw this up into something, and you can use it as a grappling hook. All right, if even with paracord, I don't recommend using paracord, but if it's an absolute worst case scenario and you have no other option, you could tie some paracord around here, and you could use this as a grappling hook. You can throw it up into an area and use it as a grappling hook. You can also use it to pull things. Okay. There's just so many uses to a little pry bar. So check this one out. I got it at Lowe's for $10. It might still be on sale. And so that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.